Oh, there we go.
There. Dude, I literally hit it like 14 times and it did nothing. Anyways. All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the B-Main Bobbies Podcast. Sorry, it's been a little while. Race season's here. We got wrapped up, and it's just been crazy. We tried doing one at the racetrack a few weeks ago, and it just didn't work like we wanted it to. We were going to get it posted, and just didn't turn out the way we wanted it to. So, we'll try again at another one. I don't know if we'll make it happen this week or not because you got a 5-minute drive home and I got a 2.5-hour drive home. So might have to wait a couple weeks, but we're back. We'll get this one out this week. We had a very busy weekend of racing, 3 nights. And it didn't start off super hot.
It didn't, dude. It was pretty rough. It was pretty rough.
Yeah, Marshalltown. But the more you think about it, like it was rough. I know for my sake, I had absolute shit luck in the heat races, all 3 of them. But then again, the quality of cars and the competition level at King of the High Banks was like so stupid loaded, like it wasn't even fair.
It was like Super Nationals in April.
Yeah, it really was.
For the 54, I think it was 54?
54, 55, one of the two.
55 stock cars, 45 of them could have won that race.
Yeah.
Unreal.
You go to look at your heat race lineup and you're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I didn't have a no slouch of a heat race in any of them. My first one went well. I ended up picking up 4 spots. My second one, I didn't think the track was going to rubber up as much as it did, so I tightened my car up and I over-tightened it, and we've all been there. And I go off into turn 1, and I plowed like a dump truck.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I got hit by every car that passed me.
Yeah, you were definitely a pinball on that deal.
As I threw the anchor out and ended up finishing 6th, which it did not give me in the top 10 for passing points. So I had to try to run some last chance stuff on Friday. And my first heat race, I was starting outside front row, or not front row, second row. And it was off to a good start. I was just buying my time and just letting everything fall to me. I had an opportunity to pass for the transfer spot and ended up making it happen, come to the white flag, and kind of got drove through. It's racing, and you kind of got to let it go and live another day. Ended up going to the B-Main for the last chance to make it in and ran second for a little while, and on a restart just kind of got stuck behind the leader. Made a kind of a bad decision on the restart, choosing the bottom, kind of second guessing myself and kind of beating myself up about it. Should have chose the top and tried to roll the middle and ended up finishing 3rd, 1 spot out. But all we can say is we competed.
Yeah. You competed more than I did.
It just goes bad luck. Your luck wasn't on your side, and that's how racing is. It feels like you just got to have your luck, and your cards have to be played right with luck, car setup, and just track conditions, really.
Yeah, and you get those people out there that say luck it's a wise tale and luck don't mean nothing. I don't know what you call it then because I don't seem to have much of it most of the time.
Literally, I'm pretty sure my car got beat up in those 2 nights more than I have ever had. My car looks like it's got 50 races on it.
My cleanest race of both days was the B-Main.
Yeah, that was mine too.
It was crazy, and for some reason I don't know what the significance was of it all weekend. even last night, lap 2 of the heat races, something stupid happened to me. My first heat race at Marshalltown, Thursday night, I started third. I think I started third. And first lap, pretty decent. I think I was still in third and was just kind of trying to let things settle out and try and figure out where we're going to go here. And then we go into turn 1 for lap number 2. And this guy on the outside, I don't know if he got dumped or somebody cut his nose off. One of the two, something happened, and he was completely crossed up, pretty much spinning out in front of me. So I check up, try to get the hell out of the way. I'm already down on the tires. And when he's spinning, it sends him down the track, hits my right front, wrinkles my nose, fender, the whole 9 yards. And then I saved him from completely spinning out, and it straightened him out. But when it came around, I don't know if it's when it slapped around and it cut my right rear tire. But apparently I had a flat tire on the first lap that happened. But I rode it out for 6 until it finally completely shredded. Because I wanted to finish, because a finish is better points than a DNF. But when you're on the beadlock, not much you can do. Then the second heat race, I started 6th, I think, and I started 7th and got up to 4th because I went +3. And lap 2 on that one was kind of sketchy too, but got through that. And then Friday had another heat race. Man, I started 6th in that one, right behind Damon Murdy, and I was like, this could work out really good. There's something on the top. Damon's a really good one to follow on the top at Marshalltown. That's exactly what I was doing. I was all but right up to him going into turn 3 on lap 2, and he starts to cut down a little bit, and I kind of cut down just to follow, just because that was kind of the line we were running. And I see this black dot come from the bottom all the way up and just KOs my whole left side door. So then I check up, lose, like 4 cars go by, lose all the ground I made. So then you're buried again. We had no caution. So then you can't make up any of that ground that you lost. Then go to the B-Main, started 9th, got up to like 5th, couldn't do anything. So I figured, I'll try going up to the top because sobbing was making it work. Well, I should have just stayed on the bottom because as soon as I went up to the top, 4 guys went by.
Yep. That's how it was. I tried
and
to
that
top
was
that
that
one.
was into the high bank.
Yeah, I tried to top that one time, and all of a sudden I see a guy poking his nose, and I'm like, yep, this is not it, and dove right back to the bottom.
Yep. I mean, what do you do? You can't, if you can't pass them, you got to try something else.
Can't follow them all.
No.
You got to try.
Yeah, and it just didn't work.
I mean, it's crazy. From Thursday, I just felt like I had no speed. Car was just, it wasn't there. It wasn't feeling it. Ended up making a spring change, and it's like it brought the car back to life. And that's how it was. It's just frustrating. You miss it by 1 spot. It just eats at you. You'd rather miss it by 5 than 1 because it's like, you're right there. But after watching the feature, and it rubbered up, and Jerry I don't know what else he could have done with all those cars there and trying to keep it from rubbering. It happens. For 55, 56 stock cars, they still produced a good show. It was still a good show, and the racing was good for the most part. It just didn't work out for us. And then we go to the next day on Saturday. I ended up going to Boone, and you went to Makokata, and after Friday, I was up till 4 a.m. changing the gear. Just to go to Boone the next night. But I went to Boone, and the first time in, I think, my racing career, I draw the one pill right out of the gate. I draw the one pill, and I usually at Boone, you tighten your car up to run on a dirty track, and it helps because those wood chips, it's hard to get a hold of, so you tighten your car up and go out. I was rolling the bottom for a while, and a guy passed me on the top pretty good, so I went up there, and it was just like I was bogged down. Way too tight. Ended up transferring in, got fourth. Had to start 13th, and I loosened it up a little bit because of, obviously, of the heat race, and the track blew off, and I kind of didn't expect anything. I was like, I'm just going to keep my nose clean, and whatever happens, happens. I started rolling the bottom, picking cars off left and right, and all of a sudden I see there's a caution. I'm restarting on the top, and I see like 5 people telling me, you run the top. I was like, okay, I'm going to run the top, and we ended up picking off 2 cars, passing for third, and a caution came out, so I had to restart on the bottom and lost the spot, and ended up bringing home 5th from 13th, so I couldn't be really too upset with it. I definitely my best finish at Boone on a weekly night ever. The car was good, and can't really complain. And I don't know. I know you said Makokata was pretty one lane.
Yeah, it ended up being that way. The biggest thing for me, like I honestly don't know if my car was really that far off all weekend. But when I had all this shit happen in the heat race, like I lose so much ground, and the heat races aren't that long, so it's like I never really had a chance to feel my car out to know if I was even close.
Yeah.
My heat race on lap 2 again at Makokata, I started. Dustin and I started right next to each other. We were, I think, third row, second or third row. We started right next to each other, and we took off. And he had a pretty good run on the outside, and I tucked in behind him. He goes into turn 3. Well, he did what I did at practice at Marshalltown. He had all the rear brake in it. And he goes into the corner. And I mean, I had to let off so I didn't punt him. And we're going into turn 3, and all of a sudden he just keeps going around. And I was like, this is not good. So I had to check way up to not completely T-bone him, go up and around, and 2 cars got by us when that happened. And again, I lost all the ground. The leaders they pulled away. I mean, they had a straightaway on us. So then I just kind of had to manage just to finish the heat race. They took top 5 out of the heats. And of course, my wonderful drawing skills. Top 10 redraw. And what do I draw? I draw the 10.
Not a boy.
And then we were kind of watching the track. It was super dirty. It never cleaned off. It was just super dirty and crummy, and it looked like it was going to be one lane on the top. We watched like 5-6 races, and there was still a cushion, and everyone was making the top work. So we're like, well, looks like it's going to be a top dominant, so we'll just set up for the top. I was starting on the outside, so I figured that'd be a good place to just try and hang out. Well, right before we went out, the sport mods were up, and I guess the sport mods blew it off in like 4 laps. They blew the cushion off completely, and then it just got crummy, and then they locked down on the bottom. And where they were staging us. They were staging us there at turn 2, so you can't even really see what's going on.
Oh yeah,
on the old half mile there. Not like I could have changed anything anyways, but then they went out and they put a little layer of water down all the way across the top, right on the crown of the corners there, for try and save a cushion or whatever. And then when they had us come out for the feature, they had us roll around like 4 or 5 laps and then kind of hammer on it. And I knew right away, I'm like, yep, top's gone. And since we were set up for the top, when I went down to the bottom, because it was one lane on the bottom, that thing was digging so hard that it was just a wheelie machine, and there was
Just hold on for dear life.
not much I could do. I go all the way down the straightaway, and I'm pretty much looking at the sky, and then you let off going in the corner, it slams down, and then you hit the crater in turn 1, the crater in turn 4,
And you're back in the air.
and back in the air again. And I ended up 7th. So, I mean, on paper, I got a top 10, but we only had 15 cars, so middle of the road. After how we competed fairly decent at Marshalltown, even though the results don't show it, we've competed. I felt like I definitely should not have been 7th. Like, I feel like I should have been top 3.
Oh yeah, it's crazy how, and like I've said before, it's crazy how these ride height rules I think have leveled the playing field.
Oh yeah,
It's crazy how I've had to take my setup I ran last year and try to make it work this year, and it's totally it's different. It's crazy how those ride heights can help a setup, but it's just you got so much that goes into it on these ride heights where your car's not getting on the right front, or it's too flat, or you got way too much right rear and you're blowing the right rear tire off. It's just a lot goes into it. And heck, I was talking to people on Saturday at Boone about it, and they were saying how they had to completely change their car from what they were running, and they're out to lunch. It's crazy. It's crazy. You wouldn't think these ride height rules would change a car this much, but it does. Heck, Dusty was telling us that he found his setup book back in 03.
yeah.
And he's trying to implement it. But why not? Because these ride heights are back to what they were racing, and my dad can even say that too. These cars, he doesn't even know if he could drive a stock car nowadays, just because of with all the shock technology and the different springs.
Right.
Obviously, what you guys are doing with your springs is different than what I'm doing, but your guys' setups are kind of what they were back in when they were racing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what's crazy, how your car 3-wheels that much, and they hardly 3-wheeled back in the day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and the ride height deal, it didn't really affect us at all. The right front, we had to bring the right front up a little bit, but I almost wonder if just that little bit is what's kind of throwing it through a loop right now. Because
Right.
we tried a softer. No one had 100-pound softer spring than what we had. We could only find it 50 pounds lighter, so it was lighter. So we just tried it, and I feel like it helped. But I think that's probably because we had to. I think we had to bring our right front up like a quarter of an inch
Yep.
to meet the ride height rule. Because I mean, if we would have left it, it would have been borderline on their quarter-inch allowance or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe that quarter inch is what's really throwing this thing off, because I feel like we've been battling the car being really bouncy. Where last year I never had that, because we put that different shock on, and that car was perfect.
And two, I get, yeah, like traction bounce. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it just feels like the car just keeps bouncing in the corner.
Like rocking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We tried that one shock at Marshalltown, that tie down on the right rear. We've never tried it. We've had this shock, just never put it on. So we figured we tried it, and it was horrible. It was like riding a pogo stick. So I took that thing back off and put our normal one back on. But
yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that quarter inch is what really has got this thing to where we got to change something else. I don't know.
Well, heck, I was talking to Braden, and he told me, because I run a 1/4-inch spacer on my right rear. I've always ran it just because of my tire not rubbing on the frame rail.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now with this car, how my car's set up, I can probably take that off, and heck, that 1/4-inch spacer goes a long ways. I mean, that's a big difference. It's no different than bending your rear end a 1/4 inch. That 1/4
Right.
inch is gonna mess it up.
Right.
And we'll see at Stewart how it fares, but it was pretty good from Marshalltown when we changed it, and obviously at Boone it was good. So I mean, we'll see with Stewart and see what we can do with the however many stock cars show up for the Dirt Crown. I hope it's a good turnout, and hope we both can finally get some good finishes at a decent size race.
Right.
Because I mean, you look at like you said, the competition at Marshalltown, it was damn good.
Yeah.
Damn good.
It was, yeah.
And it wasn't like I was sitting 29th in points, and where were you at?
37th.
Yeah. Out of 56 stock cars. In the state that was there, and all over I can't even, there's guys from Texas,
Yep.
all over the place. And it's just, we competed, and it wasn't like we were out to lunch. And
No, we weren't out to lunch by any means. I mean, you ran right there, just like a one spot short 2 times in a row.
every time.
And like the couple laps that I was able to make where we were still in a pack before the dumb shit happened to me. I mean, I was right there, so it's not like I was way out to lunch. I just had really
Bad luck.
unfortunate circumstances happen that I just happened to catch the shit end of the stick of it. And it just, it's what it is. That's why they call it racing and not winning.
Exactly. It's a sport that it's supposed to be fun, right? But we take it seriously.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, I know some of our content, I mean, it is hilarious.
Oh, it's very hilarious.
But at the same time, we're having fun with it, but we do take it really seriously. Like, there was times at Marshalltown, like, I didn't even want to talk to anybody. I was pissed.
Oh, yeah. I was, after my second heat race on Thursday, I was so pissed. I was ready to throw the kitchen sink at it, didn't know what to do, but Dad talked to me and was like, hey, we knew this was going to happen. We knew at the beginning with these new rules that this setup might not work. You might have to tweak it and fine tune it, and it's going to take a few races. It just sucks that you have to test things and tweak your setup at a big show like that. And you're hoping that you can do it at a weekly show and test things at a weekly show. So then when you go to these big races, that you have the best car you have, and the best car you want, I should say, and make these big shows for our standpoint to try to get to Knoxville.
Yeah, I mean, that's the goal of running this Crown Series, is to get that invite to Knoxville. I mean,
we're already down one spot. The one guy already locked in on Saturday at Off Road. Jeff Ware ended up winning that one.
But he's locked in for West points, though, right?
For the West side, yes. So the East side, he's locked in on the West side, so it's not really affecting us right now.
But there's only 13. There's 13 guaranteed spots available yet.
They count, I think, the wins are at large bids, and then they go off points. The points are the main ones, and then like the wins or the at large bids, I believe, is how I would look at it as. Because I mean, you got to look at points. So you got your top 7 of each side. Say somebody in that top 7 is a winner. then you keep going down the row. So like that 8th place guy is hoping if he doesn't get a win, that one of those guys in the top 7 already has an automatic bid. So then they're not have to worry about it. Because heck, one of us might win at Stewart, and then we don't have to worry about finishing top 7 in points. We already got the lock.
Is Stewart a lock in?
It is.
Sweet.
So our first Dirt Crown race is a lock-in race. So I'm just hoping for a good run, and if it all goes right and one of us ends up winning, I'll take it.
I mean, the goal will be to win it if I can lock in the show, but as of now, I've already missed a big show this year, so the goal is to just even make the show.
Oh, that's your first priority. Gosh. And I mean, you want to make the show. I wanted to make the show for the High Banks bad, just to be in that starting lineup, knowing that, man, I'm racing against the best of the best for this $5,000 to win. But
I missed it by 4 spots last year, and I missed it by 7 this year.
It's just how it goes.
Yep.
Heck, there was quite a bit of good cars that missed it too.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of good cars that didn't make it.
It's just how it goes. So I'm hoping for a good turnout for both of us at Stewart. It's definitely one of my best tracks. I know you've never been there before, besides practice.
Yeah, and I didn't even practice in a full-size car, so
it was a midget.
Yeah, it'll be a big learning curve.
No, it's definitely a fun track. Mike has that track going for sure. It's definitely one of the best tracks in the state.
Have they had a weekly race yet?
Frostbusters. Wednesday is their opening night.
Okay. Oh, so the Dirt Crown's tagged on with her season opener.
Yep.
So it's a full show.
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha.
Oh, yeah.
They usually get pretty good car counts there weekly?
Depends. I know last year he kind of struggled just because he was all over the board on his nights.
Yeah.
But being a Dirt Crown race, I hope we don't have to run a B. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I know.
That'd be awesome. You don't have to worry about it, but I can see there'll be a B-Main. But yeah, they get a pretty good car count. I can see. I don't see us having 56 stock cars, but I can see us having in the 30s or maybe 40 at most, I believe. But who knows? People might be running this Dirt Crown points system, the series, and going just to go to Knoxville. So just like us.
Yeah.
So we could see 50-something stock cars.
It's very possible. I guess we'll kind of have to wait and see what the weather does here Tuesday, because I think the whole state's supposed to get dumped on Tuesday.
Yeah, Tuesday does not look good, and I'm hoping it's not looking good for – gosh, Dirt Crown's been not lucky this year. They've already canceled, and gosh, if they get another one canceled, that I don't know if they'll reschedule it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Because they canceled Beatrice. Is there anything else that they canceled?
No. They got obviously they got their east side, out of the west side racing and off road. But for the east side, it was just the Beatrice right now, and then our Stewart was our next up, and then we got after Stewart is that 2-day deal with Interstate, and then with Spencer.
Yep, that's in 2 weeks, and then we're off on Dirt Crown till June, right?
I believe so. I
think one of June's up at Alta.
Is it? Is that our next one after the Interstate and Spencer?
I believe so. Because I think there's only one in June, and then I think July is that 3-day swing up to Huset's.
So yeah, we run those two. Oh no, yep, and then it is Alta. Because they moved that interstate above Spencer on the 28th.
Yep.
Yep. Then it'd be Alta June 5th. So, and then after Alta is the Minnesota swing, and then Huset's.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, that place was a blast. I'm just hoping I'm not as stupid as last time and try to knock the wall down every time.
Well, I'm just hoping by that point in time we have something figured out.
Oh, you definitely will. I'm hoping that Stewart turns around for you. Well, both of us. I'm hoping our B-Main Bobbies name doesn't need to be brought out on Wednesday.
No, we were already Bobbies at a big show once. We don't need to really be Bobbies again.
No,
Not back to back.
definitely not back to back. We need some good luck in the B-Main Bobbies.
I don't remember. Do they do draw, redraw, dirt crown stuff?
Yeah, there's no passing points in the dirt crown. It's all basically transfer spots. And then I think they just stick to the track. They count it as a special. So draw, redraw, and so many transfer, and the rest go to a B-Main, and that's that.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to it. Everyone says Stewart's a blast, so.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely – if it can get 2 lanes, it's a blast.
If it gets 1 lane, where's it usually typically go?
Top.
1 lane on the top.
Sometimes the top isn't there, but most of the time it's on the top. Sometimes they'll go to the bottom if it gets really slick, or if he overwaters it and it's really heavy, then it's through the middle, just wide open. But most of the time it's around the top.
Good.
I
need more practice there anyways. I struggle with it hard at Marshalltown.
See, the thing about Marshalltown, it's weird. Like, there's nothing better than running the top. There's nothing better. But when you can run a top one side and then have to dive it to the bottom to run the bottom on the other corner, it just sucks. And it's always been that way. You've never been able to rip the top in 1 and 2 at Marshalltown. Rarely happens. I was fortunate enough to be able to do it in my one heat race on Friday, and it worked. But other than that, it didn't work. It was pretty much around the bottom in 1 and 2, top 3 and 4.
Yeah, 3 and 4. I don't know what it is about it that I struggle so hard to figure out how to run it. Like Marshalltown by far is the track I struggle the most at trying to figure out how to be fast.
Well, a lot of people say, and they're honest about it. They just are worried to drive it off the top, and it's kind of how people do it. I feel like if there's a wall around the top, they're more comfortable because if they hit the wall, then it saves them. They don't have to worry about it. They got something to hold them there, and it's no different than Tipton.
Right.
Gosh, Tipton gets literally right up to the rim, and I would rather rip the top than putter on the bottom, anyways. But Stewart 1 and 2, it gets up at the wall. I mean, it builds a curb at the fence, and you can't be afraid to drag the right rear quarter panel around the wall.
Be just like the old modified days, like in this picture, my background picture, right there, turn 4 coming out of West Liberty. Dude, I used to have a spark show every lap.
Oh, there you go. You'll have that.
Oh, yeah.
Gosh, you feel like if you do that with the stock car, though, your rear end's 2 inches forward then afterwards, and you're taking it to get straightened.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm excited for Stewart. I really enjoy going to new tracks, and I don't know. I think it's helped me a lot just because you're more diverse.
Oh, they always say if you can race Stewart, you pretty much can race anywhere. Just because it's so unique. You feel like you're constantly on the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you come out of turn 1 or turn 2 and you're already in turn 3.
Yeah. Yeah, because when I practiced there in my midget, that's how it was. I mean, the wheel was never straight, ever.
No. And you look at when the late models were there, those guys were literally setting the car. They're making it one big circle.
Yeah.
They're setting it on the backstretch, and it's like, gosh, dang. No, I'm just hoping for some good luck, and the drawing skills need to be good. They do. Because I feel like in the heat races at Stewart, it's very hard to pass. It is hard to pass just because the lines aren't really there yet. The track's not wide, and it's either the bottom or through the middle. And when you get in a heat race with all fast guys, you're stuck. You just hope one of them can mess up just enough or you can get by.
Yeah.
At that point, you're just hoping to get into a transfer spot.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know what a guy has to do to draw good. I really don't.
Don't ask me because I'm not there.
I don't get it. It don't make any sense to me because it always seems like the same people always draw really good.
That's how it happens. They just have the lucky hand. It's like you need to go buy a lottery ticket, dude.
Yeah, I know. It's like I've tried every damn tactic there is to trying to draw. I mean, I've tried digging my hand through there, try and pick something random. I've done the whole grab the very first one that you feel or grab the top of the bag. I've tried all of it.
I've always been if I grab 2 spoons, I always should just choose the opposite because the one that I drop is always the one that is good. I know at Super Nationals, after my heat race, you have 2 cups. Like the winner of the heat race draws out of 1 through so many, and the other one draws out of that. And that time it worked because one spoon I put down, it was either the 16 or like 23rd. So that time it worked. But other than that, I usually have Carly draw for me because she's drawn the pole for me I don't know how many times for a redraw. But I will say I did not like starting on the pole.
No, like I would totally be cool with drawing like two through like 5. Anywhere in there would be fine. Anytime I ever start on the pole, something stupid happens.
Well, yeah, I go off on the turn 1 and I find out that I missed a setup and 5 cars just blow by me and I'm like, yep, there's my race.
Yeah, last time I drew the pole down at West Liberty, I was like, sweet, my heat race wasn't that great. Redrew the pole, perfect. Now I can get out front and just go for like 5 laps, and then I know Johnny's going to be on my ass. But I draw the pole. It's like perfect. So I go into turn 1. We're going just fine. I thought I had a really good start, and next thing you know, I just get dumped. Spun out in front of the whole damn field on the first lap.
Yep.
I'm like, when I drew the 1, I should have just told him, nope, I'll just start last.
Give me the 12.
Yeah. But I mean, shit like that happens to me all the time.
I've been dumped from the pole many times. You go off into turn 1, you think you're set. You set the pace going in turn 1, and obviously the guy behind you says he has better plans.
Yeah. And then it's usually, I didn't realize you were going to let off so early. I didn't realize you weren't going to let off.
Yeah, you can give me a warning next time.
Yeah. Whatever. But we'll see what happens, man. All we can do is show up and do what we do.
Hopefully we're taking one of these backgrounds off and you're displaying your sweet dirt crown LED. Your LED sign.
Like, if I don't get to go to Knoxville, I at least want to win at least one LED sign this year.
Yeah, that is a big goal of mine. And hopefully hopefully after Wednesday, you got your LED sign, you got your poster that says Knoxville invite on it, and it's like, all right, we're good. We can just go race and not have to have all this pressure on you. But I've always been told that don't put all the pressure on yourself, because then it makes it worse. And then you're screwed. After you put all the pressure on yourself, you just drive worse.
Yep.
So I'm gonna go out and hope for the best.
Yeah. Well, hopefully one of us is taking.
All I can say is I hope it's not this number on it next time. And it's a little bit bigger than that.
Yeah. No, they got some sweet trophies, man. They make you want to win pretty bad.
It's all about the unique ones. I will say that. It's
absolutely.
That's why I like to travel around to different tracks and race these big races, because people say, "Oh, I want to do it for the money. I want to do it for this." Yeah, I want to do it for the money too. But nothing is better than winning a unique trophy.
Yeah, you get to take home a badass piece of hardware. It's pretty damn cool.
Oh, yeah, because you get to pick where you want to display the thing. I know when I won at Farley, and I could pull out there, and I see a big Happy Gilmore check, and I was just like,
hell yeah.
Hell yeah. That's all I care about. Is I don't even care about how much it paid or I won. It was like that Happy Gilmore check, sweet.
Yeah, I know. That I've never won one. So that is on my list of things that I want to win.
Carly won's like a tall trophy, and I'm like, God.
Dude, the trophies they had in Miciah last night, they were tall.
Oh, yeah. They were. That's what she was saying. She said they were pretty nice.
Yeah, I know. I've really wanted one, but that wasn't in the cards either.
That wasn't in the cards either. But no, it's definitely going to be interesting to see who all shows up on Wednesday to really see if they're going to be running it or they're just running at Stewart. Because I know obviously Scott was telling us that you gotta have a membership to be in it anyways, and I don't know how it works if the winner can be like, "Hey, I want to do it now since I won."
I don't know. I don't see him doing it that way. I don't know. I would have a hard time believing that they would take a one-off winner and lock.
Oh, that wasn't like pre-registered for it,
right?
But then again, a lot of people don't pre-register until they get there, and yes, if they register at Stewart for it, then so be it.
Yeah, then they're a member. But if they never apply for the membership and go win one of their races, that would piss a lot of people off if they got 1 o'clock and they weren't a member.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting, to say the least. But no,
all we gotta do is go win one, and then we don't even have to worry about it.
Exactly. Exactly. I hope each of us get an LED sign and the Bobbies can be winners of a dirt crown race, because that'd be pretty badass.
Yes, it would be. And that'd be good momentum going to Farley at the end of the year.
Yeah, that's going to be another big one. I don't know how that one's going to play out.
I don't know either.
After what happened at the $5,000 to win, I think it's going to be a lot worse driving at that, just to say the least. I mean,
there's going to be a lot of desperation, and people are going to not care one bit because they've never seen that kind of money ever, and they're going to try and do anything and everything to try and win it.
Heck, I just want to make it, because that 2,500 sounds pretty good.
Yeah, I know it.
Gosh, I mean,
I've never ran a 100-lap race. I think it'd be cool as hell to run
either. The most I ran was 50.
Same here.
And
I made it 54 laps in an ARCA race, but still 50.
50. Still 50. But it's, gosh, the way they were driving for just 500 to start.
I know.
I will say this. I don't want to be the guy sitting in the final transfer spot.
No.
I hope
absolutely not.
I hope I'm one of the guys that's in have a cushion on me that I can breathe. But I don't want to be the guy that's in the final transfer spot because you might not come back to the trailer with a car. You might just come back with your steering wheel.
Especially at that place, because that track is so damn fast anyways. I mean, it's gonna be interesting.
I just hope it's wide. I hope it's racy and not one lane. Because if it's one lane, it's gonna be bad.
Like that night you won there last year, our heat races, that place was freaking awesome.
Oh gosh, I mean, I don't think well, in the feature I didn't lift. I would dump the throttle, set the car, and I get back into it.
Yeah, when they farmed it that deep, but the heat races, it was black, slick, and smooth from the tires all the way to the wall. It was freaking awesome.
I know if it gets one lane, it's going to be bad because then you got guys that are just going to drive through you, not care.
And that's the scary part is because Farley's one of the quickest places to rubber up.
Yeah, that
forever.
Well, you know damn well for 100 lapper, she's going to rubber up. It's you just hope if you're the leader at the halfway break, it's already rubbered up.
Yeah.
Because if you can hold on for the next 50 in the rubber, you'll be set.
And then you just hope you can be as smooth as Kelly was Friday night.
That was, I mean, the guy literally would let out of the gas and go-karted around there, and you could hear him. He would pick the throttle up when he was on the straightaway.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he would barely be in the gas. The next thing you know, you'd hear him wide open down the straightaway. And it's like, are we racing at Martinsville?
I mean, he put on an absolute clinic on how to race in the rubber.
Well, yeah.
He didn't miss. Like, he did not bobble once.
Well, the guy's been racing for 40 years.
Well, that minor details, but
I mean, that's where it is.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy. It was fun to watch. Granted, it wasn't super exciting in the top three, really, but
no.
But I mean, it was fun to watch how perfect of a race he drove.
Yeah, definitely. And you just wish you kind of got to learn off those guys as much as if you don't like them, but you got to learn off of them because you definitely can take some notes off of those guys because he's got a ton of laps. He really does. And I know the night that I won at Oski, it started to rubber up, but I would just put my left rear right in the rubber, and next thing you know, I put a half a straightaway on the guys.
See, that's what happened to me at Miciah last year. That night I won there, it rubbered up on the top, and I had a straightaway lead at the finish.
Oh yeah. But as much as I've always been on the other side of a rubber track, where you miss the rubber, and next thing you know, you're throwing the anchor out.
Yeah, like midget racing in the rubber, dude. It is not fun.
No, because you mess up once and you're screwed.
Yeah. And their tires are so damn soft that you got to really manage them. Otherwise, you'll blow them off instantly.
Yeah, it's hard to do on plastic.
Yeah.
Well, they are junk. They are junk.
I mean, our G60s are pretty damn soft to start with, but the midget tires, I mean, I don't remember what they drometer right away, but it's soft. And as soon as it rubbers up, man, I mean, they just disintegrate.
To chunk out. I've had that's why I don't try to sipe a whole lot. And they always say if I do make that 100 lap, or God, I don't know if you want to bolt on a new set. Because I don't.
Oh.
It's tough. It's tough because they always say if a track rubber's up, you don't want to bolt a new set on. You're better off at running used tires.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been in that situation before.
I've never been in that either, where you're sitting at a halfway break. But I mean, at that point, if you're running mid pack, and what do you have to lose to make a tire change?
Right.
Because you never know. The guys in front of you might blow their tires off, and you have different tires on. Next thing you know, you're just picking them off.
Because there's going to be a lot of really heavy hitters there, but I don't know how many of those heavy hitters have 100-lap race experience.
Besides the late model guys that are doing it, I mean, like Ricky.
Besides that, or guys like Johnny, but I mean, a lot of guys are going to have 50-lap experience, but having that experience to manage for 100 laps, that's a big difference.
That is a big difference, and like Ricky, God, their tires are way different than ours.
Oh yeah,
they're way different, and in a late model, you got more horsepower and this and that. But gosh, it's going to be tough. I thought the 50 lap was tough trying to manage tires.
Oh yeah,
but we got to make it there first.
It's a long ways away.
I
mean, our cars look like they got half a season on them. We're only in April.
Yeah. I'm hoping I don't have to, like last year, put a new body on.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, my left side made it all the way to fall specials last year. So like 30-something races before it got completely destroyed. But I've made it 6, and my left side's got half a season on it.
It's one of those where you might have to pull all the panels off and beat them out and just kind of go through the body mounts, refreshing them up.
Oh yeah, I'm pulling them off tomorrow.
Not a boy.
My angle iron down by the skirting, I mean, it looks like a noodle.
Yeah, one of my passenger side's like that, but it's one of those like, my fenders are the worst. I don't know how to. I have to tape my hood down, and I don't know how well that's gonna last.
See, my right side has got hammered twice, and the left side was still good until that guy completely blew my door off. Because that's when Dustin and Braden they came up. Or no, not Dustin, but Braden and that guy that hit me. When they came up, they got into my left front, and it mangled that all to shit. So
the fun of racing, right?
Yep.
But
well, I see we knocked out an hour there, and we're doing this pretty late at night, way past my bedtime. I know he's used to staying up later than I am, but
yeah, I'm running on low sleep, dude.
Yeah, I know. This 3 days racing in a row, it was a lot.
But it wasn't even that. It was more the getting home at 2 a.m. and deciding to change a gear.
Well, there's that too, but no. So again, thank you guys for watching. I know it's been a couple weeks. We apologize, but we're still trying to figure out how to manage all this stuff, especially now that we're in the thick of race season again. So we're doing what we can. I don't know if we'll get to do one of these after Stewart. Might have to wait until we're at the 2-day deal up in
Interstate
in Spencer. But again, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. Follow us on everything, and we will catch you guys on the next one.